Yes. So, I'm a little sick, seasonal allergies. But you know what? I said, why not stream? As you can tell in the background, my son also dealing with seasonal allergies. I know. It's pretty interesting. But yeah. So I just had some time. Not going to get to stream much or post new videos over the next weekend or so. So I figured, show you the books that I picked up over the last couple of days. Right now, that single person who's in theory watching. So, what did I get? Two people. Yay! I picked this up. This is the Art Adams Scarlet Witch cover from Avengers, the Children's Crusade. There's like three of these. One of them is for New Mutants. And I don't remember what the other one is. Maybe Black Widow. Hi, Bad Avenger. How are you? I also finally found a copy of of this, and I actually flipped through the issue. I didn't realize that it is definitely an adult comic book, but this is the Sally Forth number 8. It is obviously an Adam Hughes cover, and I think a pretty good one. Um, it is tough to find. Trust me, because I looked for it. It's like in 7.5 condition, so it's not going to get graded or anything. But yeah, saw it uh, finally, so I picked it up. Let's see. Also picked this up. Sorry for the glare. This is like the colors against. Yeah, no, I mean I think it's a great cover. You know, but yeah, like I said, I flipped through it and realized that this is like the tamest part of it. The rest of it's not definitely not for children. Um, but probably won't be opening it and reading it. Now go back to this one. So this is the part of that Vitamized 2012. Hey Doomsday, how you doing? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a nice cover. So yeah, this is the. I've been slowly but surely picking these up. So this is Captain America number 7. Part of that 2012 Vitamized series that is supposedly rare. Um, I don't know. I got a decent enough deal on this, so I went ahead and picked it up. And now for the last book I'm going to show. It is. It's hard to see. It is the 35-cent Star Wars variant. Um, it's CGC 4.0 restored. I don't want to optimize my PC right now. Thank you. Normally, I would not touch a purple label, but if you kind of either seen some of my videos or kind of seen in the background, I have a lot of old, rare Star Wars figures. So I'm a big Star Wars fan. I wanted the 35-cent book, and it's just prohibitively expensive. And so I was able to pick this up for, I mean, it wasn't cheap, but because it was restored, not too bad. I mean, everything's original to it. The main restoration is they did color touch. And honestly, they did kind of a bad job, which I actually like that they did a bad job because there it more looks like someone just wrote their name on it or something else. And it wasn't that they, sent it off to some restoration expert and, who knows what is and isn't real on it. Here's the back. So yeah, and I'm pleased to have this. Although to be honest with you, it's gotten to the point where I probably won't be. I've been picking up a lot of really big books recently, and it's probably going to cool down a little bit. I mean, I say that, but we'll actually see. So anyway, how's everyone's? Hey, Joker, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if you saw this because I don't know how long you've been on, but I know that you'll get a kick out of this. So this is I got the 35 cent Star Wars #1. Unfortunately, restored, but not a bad book to have in your collection. Hope you're feeling well today. Otherwise, that was really all I had to show. Does anybody have anything that they want to discuss? Anyone have a good day? Find anything good over the last couple of days? I did not pick up any new comic books this week. I just didn't have time. And so Frederick, Maryland is where the shop that I normally go to is, and yeah, the storms, they like flooded Frederick, so I wasn't even sure like if the store was going to be open or not. So anyway, good times. Anything good from New Comic Book Day? I haven't really even checked out what was coming out. Anything good come out? I feel like there was like a couple of Matina covers that I would normally buy. Anybody pick anything up? I have to give presentations at work pretty often, either like at annual meetings for the Census Bureau and the BLS and a couple of other things. And so I had to give a presentation today on Batman #49 comes out in a couple of weeks. I think that's an art term. Yeah, no, I definitely an art term cover. Looks awesome. I wholeheartedly agree, Joker 68. Anyway, but yeah, so I do, like I said, I do presentations fairly frequently, and this one was on project management. And part of the presentation was predicated on some back and forth with the crowd, and they just weren't having it today, and it was so brutal. Okay, so I had to make up. Part of it was like to go back and like talk about the best. Like, not again, no one wants a lesson on project management, but like the best practices for different how to handle different situations and stuff. And yeah, I wanted to talk about like stories that people had been through, and talk about it and like kind of play off of that. And no, they weren't having any of it. So good times. Oh, so anyway, let's see. Pop out chat. Yeah, it's interesting. Is there no, honestly, not really. Nate Gills asked me that the other day. And I really had a hard time coming up with anything. Yeah, I'm so weird. Like, I mean, I obviously have a list of books that I want, but they're all like super expensive, and everything else is kind of like what strikes me. And I feel, like not to keep bringing this stuff up, but like the idea of FOMO, fear of missing out. I definitely, I'll see something and I want to make sure that I get a hold of it before it goes up in price, and I definitely buy that way, the impulse buys. Anyway, all right. Well, I think my wife is done downstairs running, so I will let y'all go. Oh, we got someone else? Nope. Went up to 2 and then back down to 4. Hi, Gomez. How are you? Have a good night too, Joker. I'll here, Gomez. I'll quickly show you the books that I got. I picked up Captain America #7, the Venomized 2012 variant. Sally Forth #8, the Adam Hughes variant. Avengers: The Children's Crusade. This is Art Adams variant. And the big one that I picked up they keep wanting to show off is the 35-cent price variant for Star Wars #1. Unfortunately restored, but this is in my PC. I mean, not that I mean everything's in my PC. I don't really sell anything, but yeah, this is gonna go with most of my Star Wars stuff next to my David Prowse signed book. Is everyone going to see? I will probably see it when it comes out on video. I haven't seen Avengers yet, and if I have time to go to a movie, which I almost never do, since the one back there you can see it is not like going to movies. So I'll probably, if I get a chance, maybe this weekend since we're going to be at my in-laws, I'll get to go. To answer your question, Bad Avenger, not kind of. I mean, I've been to probably all of them. I live like 45 minutes from Baltimore, which really isn't that far. And the place that I get a lot of my books is near Baltimore, but it's really a vintage toy store. Is there one in particular that you've gone to before in Baltimore? I mean, there's some really good shops in Baltimore. Generally speaking, when it comes to like buying toys, records, comic books, whatever, the DC area is really terrible for finding anything. Generally, things are sold out. So Baltimore is actually a lot better because the rent is significantly cheaper there. So you'll usually find a lot of places, and so yeah, there's a bunch of comic book stores up there, and I've been to them. But like, yeah, generally speaking, Baltimore is really a place to go. I mean, obviously, the Baltimore Comic Con's one of the best. But yeah, I generally go up to Frederick, which is there is a store. It's not too far from me, but I get a pretty big discount at the store in Frederick, so I tend to go there instead, even though it's a little bit of a drive. I do Joker. Yeah, that's cool. Bat Avenger. I definitely recommend it. Joker 68. Yeah, I have one, at least one. I have one CGC one. The GI Joe Baroness that he did. I have that one signature series. I don't know if I have any more. I was lucky that I got to meet. Hey, Mr. D. I was lucky. I used to get to meet a lot of the artists and the writers, but that was like 10 or 15 years ago. So nowadays, like, I just don't have time to go and see them. And I mean, since Artgerm lives in Singapore, somewhere, either Hong Kong or Singapore, I've obviously never had a chance to meet him. But I love. I mean, obviously you can tell because people look at my hauls. I'm a big fan of Artgerm. There was, and so the comic, what's the app? The app that everyone uses for like appearances and all of that stuff. Key Comic Watch or something like that. The guy used to in Singapore, but I was going. I appreciate Joker Man, but you don't need to give me anything. We're square. Just getting to meet you and hang out, like, virtually speaking, is more than enough. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. And you're seeing what happens with old age. It's terrible. Late 30s, not a place to be. My mind is going. Now, mind you, this morning when I got up and I essentially ran out the door to make it to the train, and I got there and it didn't show up, and apparently they canceled it. It was awesome. So I had to wait for the next one, which was like 30 minutes away. Did you know Frank? Yes. Yeah, I've been reading Frank Cho stuff since he was at the University of Maryland. At one point, work was paying for me to get my PhD there, in survey methodology. But so I mean, I saw him a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I have a ton of Frank Cho. I really like him. He's a really nice guy, and he finally, after a long, long time, got the money to buy back the rights to Liberty Meadows. If anyone hasn't read University Squared or Liberty Meadows, I totally recommend it, especially University Squared, which was I think I've talked about it before when I was talking about Thorn from Jeff Smith. Okay, yeah, I'll keep a lookout, Joker. 68.
What'd you say?
I'm talking to the internet, buddy. But yeah, so University Squared stuff was from his days when he was working at the Maryland paper, which I'm drawing a blank what it's called now, which is not too far from the Baltimore area. And so yeah, he's a really nice guy. And you know, he had a bad divorce, I think. And but I mean, I think he's made it out of that and is like I said, got the rights back to one or two of the properties that he had managed to lose it at some point. And so yeah, it's good for him. He's well deserving. I buy the Cho cover for Harley Quinn. So hey, I'm just so you know, I'm live streaming.
Okay.
But anyway, so I guess I will let everyone go. Anyway, it was great talking to you, Joker. I'll keep an eye out for the email. I'm going out of town for a couple of days. I mean, I obviously still have access to stuff, but just want to, if I don't reply right away, that's good luck hunting. Have a good one. Bye.